The Maratha Quota war continues to rage in Maharashtra. Now, on day 3, the protest has brought Mumbai to a grinding halt. The Maratha protest has affected both road and rail services, and protesters are also attacking buses in Thane and pelted stones. Schools and colleges are shut as open violence and vandalism has been reported from across Mumbai. Meanwhile, second protester Jagannath Sonawane, who consumed poison in Aurangabad on Tuesday, has died in the hospital, escalating the stir further. Angry protesters also enforced a shutdown in Raigarh, Palghar, Latur and Aurangabad. The blockade on the entry of ministers by Maratha groups in every district continues. And remember, on Tuesday, Shiv Sena MP Chandrakant Khaire, who came to attend the last rites of the deceased protester Kaka Sahab, was heckled by the protesters. The Marathas are demanding a 16% reservation in jobs and education and have claimed that the stir will only stop once Chief Minister Fadnavis brings in a quota ordinance. All right, I'm joined now by my colleague, in fact, Kamlesh Sutar, who is joining me from Devgaon, where the second protester who tried to consume poison has in fact passed away. Kamlesh, what are the details that you're picking up? And in fact, the stir must have gone ahead and escalated further after this death.
Indeed, we are at Devgaon Rangari village where Jagannath Sonawane, a 50-year-old protester who had consumed poison yesterday for the demand of Maratha reservation, passed away this morning. He was just cremated, where hundreds of people related to the Maratha agitation were present for the cremation. And in fact, the state convener of the Maratha reservation agitation is with me, Mr. Vinod Patil. क्यों आत्महत्या की उन्होंने और अभी क्या मांग रहेगी सरकार के पास?
सरकार की तरफ हमारे जो आरक्षण को लेकर मांग चली थी, धरने प्रदर्शन पूरे महाराष्ट्र में शुरू थे। परसों यहाँ पर एक दुर्घटना घटी, हमारे युवा सहकारी शिंदे, उन्होंने अपना प्राण गंवा दिया। उस बात की चर्चा पूरे गांव में थी। कल हम आंदोलन कर रहे थे। आंदोलन करने वाले हमारे सभी सहकारियों ने कहा प्रशासन यहाँ पर आना चाहिए, उन्होंने हमारा मेमोरेंडम देना चाहिए। पर दुख की बात है, उन्होंने आने से यहाँ पे नकार दिया, आने से उन्होंने मनाही की। तो उस बात को लेके नाराज होके, नाउम्मीद होके सोनावाने जी ने आत्महत्या की है और पॉइजन लेके आत्महत्या की है। तो सवाल ये उठता है कि राज्य सरकार हमें कब सीरियस लेगी। हम धरने कर रहे हैं, आंदोलन कर रहे हैं, अभी तक हमारे 2 लोगों की जानें जा चुकी है। और मैं आपके माध्यम से उनको पूछना चाहता हूँ, एक लिस्ट अगर उन्होंने जारी की और उन्होंने कहा कि उनको कितने हुतात्मा चाहिए, उनको कितने लोगों के प्राण चाहिए, तो मेरे साथ सभी महाराष्ट्र के युवा अपने प्राण देने के लिए तैयार है। अभी तक उन्हें हमें सीरियस क्यों नहीं लिया गया, ये सबसे बड़ा सवाल हमारे सामने है।
दूसरी मौत हुई है इस पूरे आंदोलन में, तो इसके बाद में आंदोलन की दिशा कैसी रहेगी?
ये आंदोलन तो तीव्रता से ही चल रहा है। यह आंदोलन हमारे पूरे राज्य में चालू है। हमने डिसीजन लिया है कि एक भी मंत्री को पूरे राज्य में घूमने नहीं दिया जाएगा और सभी को बैन किया जाएगा। दूसरी यहाँ पर जो सबसे अहम बात मैं आपको बता देना चाहता हूँ कि गवर्नमेंट हमें अभी भी सीरियस नहीं ले रही है। तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट हमें बताए कि वो हमें सीरियस कैसे लेंगे। हमारा आंदोलन चालू है और सबसे एक मांग आपके जरिए मैं करना चाहता हूँ, कल राज्य के महसूल मंत्री, बड़े जिम्मेदार मंत्री जो मराठा आरक्षण के समिति के प्रमुख है, उन्होंने कहा कि मराठा क्रांति मोर्चा को लोगों को कोई पैसे दे के ये कर रहा है, तो आत्महत्या देने के लिए किसने पैसे दिए क्या? हम आंदोलन कर रहे हैं तो हम उनके इस्तीफे की मांग करते हैं।
So there you see it, the anger there is evident. They say that the government is not taking the agitation very seriously and they are demanding resignation also of a senior minister from Maharashtra. So the anger clearly seen. They say that the protests are going to continue, and now with a second death registered in the agitation, certainly we'll have to wait and watch how the agitation unfolds from here.
The fact that they go ahead and say that the government is not going ahead and responding very favorably to their demands, although NCP leader Sharad Pawar has gone ahead and claimed that the Chief Minister Fadnavis should go ahead and initiate that dialogue. Even Fadnavis he actually came on record and he said that they will go ahead and give them jobs. About 72,000 jobs are slated to be given to the Marathas over the next 2 years. So all that has been put on the table there. So what is it that these guys are going ahead and still demanding from the government, and how do they claim that the government is not helping them?
Well, the demand basically is to announce reservations for the Maratha community. And even yesterday, as the agitation was speaking, there was a demand that came in saying that the government should come up with an ordinance that will at least show that the government is serious about the agitation. Remember, in 2014 as well, the government had come up with a similar ordinance with reservations for the Marathas and subcaste of the Muslim community, but it was shot down by the court. And this time, just during the monsoon session in Nagpur, the Chief Minister had said that giving the reservation is only in the hands of the courts and the SC/ST Commission that would be deciding on that. So that hasn't gone on well with the agitators. They say that they have been protesting for last 3 years. There have been Shanti Mukha Morchas in Maharashtra, and that hasn't yielded any result, and that is why now they have taken to the streets. And they say that till an official announcement, a formal announcement is made, the agitation is not going to stop.
All right, Kamlesh, thank you so much for your inputs there. Meanwhile, let me quickly go across to my colleague Vidya, who is joining me live from the Eastern Express Highway. Vidya, what is the situation like over there?
As you can see, there's a row of traffic, and only because the protesters have decided to walk ahead of the traffic, and since they're walking, the entire pace of the traffic has slowed down to a snail's pace. You can see only ambulances are being allowed to actually drive ahead, be it the police vehicles, be it state transport buses or those in the cars. You know, everyone is stuck up, wondering as to till when do they really have to, drive at such snail's pace. But you can see, I'm almost at the end of the Mankhurd railway station, and this is where the entire morcha is going ahead onto the highway, onto the flyover. So it's anybody's guess as to when this entire traffic jam will get over, or because the protesters are not getting off the road. The Mumbai police is trying their best to convince them to at least let essential vehicles like ambulances go ahead. That is at least what they are allowing to go ahead. But at the moment, you can see huge traffic jam on the entire northbound traffic of the Eastern Express Highway right here around Mankhurd.
Vidya, things have changed a lot from the protests that we saw on day 2, especially in Aurangabad and even in Mumbai. When they started off these protests, they claimed that it is going to be a silent protest and it will be in the interest of the common people. They will not want to disrupt normal life. But what you're showing me is a complete opposite of that.
Well, in fact, no matter what the leaders of the Maratha Kranti Morcha had claimed, there were a lot of protests in Mumbai which did hamper a lot of, normal life of Mumbaikars. At the Jogeshwari railway station, at the Thane railway station, at a whole lot of other railway stations in Central Railway as well as our Western Railway, we did see people coming onto the tracks to protest, which delayed the entire lifeline. And Mumbai, the moment the lifeline of Mumbai gets stopped, everything comes to a halt. They tried to do that, though the police officers got those men out of the tracks and the services resumed. They are still delayed because of that entire hampering of the services. But as you can see, they are trying their best, at small pockets across railway tracks, as I said earlier, across the highway, where they can actually make an impact by showing as to how but just standing on the highway, they can actually block the entire Eastern Express Highway right here at Mankhurd.
Vidya, they have mentioned that the blockade of the entry of ministers will be actually going ahead and it will be continuing. So this obviously is a part of that. But we see these disturbing visuals where vehicles are being torched, rail and road services are disrupted as you have been reporting. Now all these things are going on. No word from the authorities as of now?
Well, the authorities are at least patting their back that there's no violence that they have, that they have seen here in Mumbai. They have managed to convince the protesters not to take the violent, violence in their hands, so that the protests would not hamper, to see to it that no untoward really event happens really. But if you look at it, by even doing such kind of protests where they had said that it will, it will be silent protest, it will not be a protest which will be violent. But even by standing and hampering the entire system right here, you can see that the Maratha Kranti Morcha has tried to bring the entire city to a halt, though they have not really succeeded, but they are still trying to do that. By standing, they are actually walking on the highways so that the traffic does not go ahead. The Mumbai police is trying their best to at least let one row of the traffic. So you can see this entire 4-lane traffic actually becomes a 1-lane traffic ahead, and that leads to a huge traffic jam, which is all the way onto the southbound road that we can see.
Right, Vidya. In fact, stay on with me. Now, let's quickly tell our viewers exactly why is the Maratha community protesting, and my colleague Ankit Tyagi tells you their specific demands.
Demand number one, 16 to 17% reservation for the Marathas in jobs and education sector. This, in fact, the latest figure was 70,000 jobs which were announced in Maharashtra, in which they are saying that they should implement this quota. Now, death for the rapist of the Maratha girl who in fact was raped in Ahmednagar. They want immediate death sentence for the accused in this case. Now, number three, amendments to the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. One of the key demands where this is going to be a big problem for Fadnavis government. Here it is being seen as the Maratha versus Dalit fight. Now, announcement of unconditional loan waiver for the Maratha farmers is another demand that is being put forward by the quota agitators. Now, let's take a look at the other demand, higher minimum price for Maratha farmers. Already remember, the central government has announced MSP support to the farmers, and the Maharashtra government is working on a farm loan waiver, but they want separate concessions for the Maratha farmers. Now, more funds for betterment of the community, of the Maratha community through cooperation. So they want the corporations to spend more on the Maratha community. Now, ordinance for reservation to call off the agitation. This is also one of the key demands that is going to be a sticky point, because they want an ordinance. Remember, as far as the quota of the Maratha reservation is concerned, can Fadnavis relent to all these demands is what, in fact, the people are waiting to see.
All right, let's quickly cut to the Lok Sabha now, where Supriya Sule is speaking on the matter of reservation.
मराठा समाज और धनगर समाज को जो न्याय देना चाहिए वो आप न्याय दे दें। थैंक यू।
ओम बिरला जी। नो वेरी ओके।
बाड़मेर जिले के अंदर एक जनजाति का युवक खेताराम की एक समुदाय विशेष ने लाठियां से नरसंग हत्या कर दी गई। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, सरकार कार्रवाई कर रही है। अलवर की घटना में भी सरकार ने न्यायिक जांच आयोग बिठाकर उसकी जांच की है।
All right, let's quickly listen into what the protesters who have taken to the streets of Mumbai and all across Maharashtra have to say about the demands that they are making about the quota.
अभी आंदोलन तो हम तो हिंसा के मार्ग से करेंगे नहीं, करेंगे तो आइन के शांति से मार्ग से करेंगे। और पहली बात है कि ये सरकार ने हमारी मांगे पूरी नहीं की। हम लोग के लिए आरक्षण का जो मुद्दा था, आरक्षण तो दिया नहीं, लेकिन हम लोग को गुमराह करने की कोशिश सरकार ने की है। ये गुमराह करने की कोशिश, हम लोग के एक बलिदान, युग का बलिदान दिया है, वो बलिदान हम व्यर्थ नहीं जाने देंगे। ये जो हम लोग मोर्चा निकाल रहे हैं, ये अभी मोर्चा निकाले ठोक मोर्चा, लेकिन हम कायदा सुव्यवस्था के तोड़ के मार्ग से करेंगे, कायदा तोड़ेंगे नहीं, और जो भी है हम लोग करेंगे शांतिपूर्वक करेंगे।
हमारी जो 4 मांगियां प्रमुख थी अभी, और कोपरडी में भी अभी फांसी सुनाई गई, लेकिन फांसी दी गई नहीं है। कितने और रेप और मर्डर होने अभी बाकी है। मुख्यमंत्री को क्या चाहिए? दंगले होने चाहिए, ये थाना भी और मुंबई भी जलनी चाहिए जैसा महाराष्ट्र जल रहा है। क्या चाहिए मुख्यमंत्री को? मुख्यमंत्री हमारे पास बात करने के लिए आए, हमारी मांगनियां सुने और पूरी करे। और कल का जो हमारा भाई ऑफ हो गया, उसने अगर आत्महत्या की है, उसकी जिम्मेदारी लेके राजीनामा दे।
कहीं भी जाम नहीं करेंगे हम लोग का यही है कि हम लोग जो भी है शांति से करना है। हम लोगों को तोड़ फोड़ दे, कुछ नहीं। हम लोग ने पहले ही वार्निंग दिया है सब लोगों को, हमारा कार्यकर्ताओं को भी, कि पुलिस को या तो सरकार को इस बारे में कोई तकलीफ नहीं होगी। इस सिलसिले से हम लोग चल रहे हैं।
My colleague Mustafa Sheikh now joins me live from Dadar. Now, Mustafa, I had been talking to you in the morning as well. From peaceful protests, it has actually gone ahead to disruption of rail and road services. What are you picking from Dadar? What is really happening over there?
Yes, of course, Griha. Now the protesters are also resorting to forcefully shutting down the shops. At this point of time, we were in the internal areas of Dadar, and people there were a huge crowd of youths shouting slogans and forcefully getting the shutters down of the shops which were open, and these were shops who were providing food and lunch to the working people who have come out to work today. At this point of time, the Maratha Morcha has also announced a press conference at around 2 p.m. They may make some major decision or announcement in that press conference, but what we have seen since morning, whether it be Dadar, Thane or other parts of Mumbai, there have been sporadic protests, there have been Rasta Roko. In fact, our colleague Viren Singh was reporting from highway in Thane suburban of Mumbai, where protesters have jammed the entire highway and the traffic movement is not there. But we are showing you the visuals of Dadar at this point of time. In the morning there was some disruption here, but now the roads are clear, but there are places where the protesters are going around, and once they see any shops open or things like that, they forcefully get the shops shut. And in fact, you will see that there is police and police van with those protesters who silently walk with these protesters. The police are not saying anything to them, and they are getting the shops. So basically, they are trying their best to see the impact of Maratha Morcha being seen in Mumbai, because that would be a bigger message sending for the state government and for the people of Mumbai, which would force the government and administration to accept whatever demands they are making. So at this point of time, major decisions and announcement can be made by the Maratha Morcha at 2 p.m. when the press conference will begin. But as of now, partially you can say that there is disruption in Mumbai, especially the people who run shops. The shopkeepers have kept the shops shut because they are expecting that there can be some damage. It's not only in the core area where the Maratha population is there in Mumbai, but in other areas where there is no Maratha population, those shopkeepers also have decided to keep their shops shut for the day. Back to you, Griya.
Right. Mustafa, in fact, I will come back to you and speak to you about, how is the common Mumbaikar responding to something like this. But meanwhile, even as the protesters remain firm on their quota demand, is it even possible for the Fadnavis government to give more than 16% quota in government jobs and education? Let's take a look at that.
Remember, there is a cap by the Supreme Court that the quota should not go over 50%. What's the situation in Maharashtra? The SCs get 13% of the quota pie. Now, apart from the SCs, the STs also get 7% of the quota pie. Then there are OBCs who get 19% of this entire chunk of the quota. Nomadic tribes get another 11%. So already it is 11 plus 19 and 2% is for the special backward classes. So 19 plus 11 is 30%. There it is 48% is for the unreserved. So 52% already has been reserved. So 52% quota is already, which is given, it is a right over the ceiling, which has been put by the Supreme Court, already in existence as far as this entire quota drama in Maharashtra is concerned. Where will the Fadnavis government get this 16 to 17% quota is the big question that is there right now.
So there stand the figures. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Vidya now, reporting live from the Eastern Express Highway. Vidya, what is the situation on ground? Have you managed to speak with, because since the traffic is really slowing down because of the fact that the Eastern Highway has been blocked by these protesters, did you manage to speak to any of these commuters?
Well, I have been here for some time now, and we just realized that the police has managed to convince the protesters to get off the highway. They are actually below the flyover. If you can see, they are going ahead. But, we are right now on the Eastern Express Highway. Because of them going off the highway onto the service road, you can see the traffic is now thinning down. Finally, the entire traffic, though you can also see ambulances stuck in this traffic, but now the pace of these vehicles are increasing. And so certainly getting to Navi Mumbai, getting to Pune from Mumbai would be much more easier with this entire traffic now easing out. But yes, until for the last 2 hours that we were here on the Eastern Express Highway, the entire traffic had come to a grinding halt because of the protesters just refusing to budge. off the highway itself. But right now we have seen that the Mumbai police has been able to convince them to move off the highway, and that's the reason this entire highway is now getting clearer, and it will be now smoother traffic will be flowing in some time from now.
Right, so there must be some respite for the Mumbaikars there as the highway gets cleared by the Mumbai police, as Vidya has been reporting. We have our reporters on the ground who are bringing you up to speed with all the details and all the kind of protests that are happening on the Maratha Quota war.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.